So snow always fell harder on Christmas Eve, not just outside, but inside hearts too. That night, a little girl stood in the freezing cold, holding a broken wooden toy with both hands, trying not to cry. Beside her stood her father, a man who hadn't slept properly in months, knocking on a door he never thought he would touch. And behind that door was a woman who had spent every Christmas of her life alone. Without knowing, this night would change all three of them forever. The knock echoed through the glass hallway of the penthouse, soft, hesitant, almost apologetic. Elena Whitmore paused mid-step. She was holding a crystal wine glass, red wine untouched. The Christmas tree behind her glowed perfectly, decorated by professionals, flawless and cold. Outside the floor-to-ceiling windows, snow wrapped the city in silence. Another knock. She frowned. No one ever came to her door unannounced, especially not on Christmas Eve. She set the glass down and walked toward the door, heels clicking on marble. When she opened it, the warmth from inside spilled out into the winter night. And there they were, a man in a worn denim jacket dusted with snow, his dark hair slightly unkempt, eyes tired but kind. One hand held a little girl's mittened fingers. The other rested protectively on her shoulder. The girl clutched a small wooden horse. One wheel hung loose by a thread. "I'm sorry," the man said quickly, voice low and embarrassed. "I know this is strange. We wouldn't have knocked, but—" The girl looked up, her eyes wide and hopeful. "Sir," she whispered, "my toy is broken." Elena blinked. No reporters, no assistants, no security guards, just a father and a daughter. Cold, nervous, real. We live downstairs," the man continued. "I saw your lights. I thought maybe you might know someone who could help fix it. It's her Christmas present. I promised her." Elena looked at the toy, then at the girl's red nose, her chapped lips, the way she was trying so hard to be brave. Something inside Elena cracked. "Come in," she said before she could stop herself. The man hesitated. "We don't want to intrude." "You're not," Elena said firmly. "Please." They stepped inside. The warmth hit them immediately. The girl exhaled in relief. Snow melted onto the marble floor. "I'm Mia," the girl said shyly. "I'm Elena," she replied, kneeling slightly. "That's a beautiful horse." Mia smiled for the first time that night. The father cleared his throat. "I'm Daniel. Thank you." "Really?" Elena waved it off, but her eyes lingered on the way Daniel stood, always slightly in front of his daughter, like the world was something he had to block. "Sit," Elena said. "Both of you. You must be freezing." She took the toy gently from Mia's hands, turned it over, examined the wheel. "I'm not a toy expert," Elena admitted, "but I might know someone who can help." Daniel shook his head quickly. "You don't have to go out of your way. Even letting us warm up is—" "I want to," she said, and she meant it. She disappeared into another room and returned with a small toolkit. Mia watched in awe. "You fix toys?" she asked. Elena smiled faintly. "I fix broken things." She worked slowly, carefully. The room was quiet except for the soft hum of the heater and the faint sound of Christmas music playing somewhere in the apartment. Daniel watched her. She didn't look like the woman he had seen in magazines. There were no cameras, no sharp suits, no cold expressions. Just a woman in a red dress, sitting cross-legged on the floor, fixing a child's toy. "You live here alone?" he asked gently. Elena nodded. "Every year." Mia tilted her head. "Don't you have a family?" Elena's hands stilled for a moment. "No," she said. "Not anymore." Daniel felt something tighten in his chest. "I'm sorry," he said. "It's all right," Elena replied. "You get used to quiet." She handed the horse back to Mia. The wheel was fixed. Mia gasped and hugged it tightly. "You saved him." Elena laughed softly. It surprised even her. Daniel stood. "Thank you. You have no idea what this means." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a few folded bills. "Please." Elena raised a hand. "No. But Christmas gifts aren't transactions," she said. "They're promises." Daniel swallowed. "Then, thank you," he said again, "from both of us." They headed toward the door. Mia turned back. "Merry Christmas, Elena." "Merry Christmas, Mia." The door closed. The apartment felt colder than before. Elena stood there, staring at the door long after they were gone. That night, she didn't drink the wine. She sat by the window and watched the snow fall. And for the first time in years, she didn't feel completely alone. The next morning, Daniel woke to the sound of Mia laughing. She was sitting on the floor, pushing the wooden horse back and forth. "You're up early," he said, smiling. "I wanted to make sure he still works," she said seriously. Daniel laughed and rubbed his eyes. Their apartment was small, too small. One bedroom, thin walls, a heater that worked only when it felt like it. But it was home. He made oatmeal for breakfast. "Mia," he said casually, "what did you think of the lady upstairs?" "She's nice," Mia said. "Sad, though." Daniel paused. "How can you tell?" She smiled with her mouth, not her eyes. Daniel looked at his daughter. Sometimes he forgot how much she noticed. "She fixed my toy even though she didn't know us," Mia continued. "That means she's good." Daniel nodded. "She is." He didn't tell Mia that the building they lived in wasn't meant for people like them, that he worked nights as a security guard just to afford the tiny unit, that he'd moved them there because it was close to Mia's school and far from the life that had fallen apart when her mother left. He didn't tell her that knocking on that door had been an act of desperation. Later that day, Daniel headed to work. The building buzzed with unusual activity. "Did you hear?" a coworker whispered. "The CEO is coming." Daniel froze. "The CEO?" "Yeah, Elena Whitmore herself. Christmas visit. Big surprise." Daniel's stomach dropped. That night, he stood at his post, watching elevators open and close. Then she appeared. Hair perfectly styled, black coat, confident stride, surrounded by assistants. Elena Whitmore, the woman who had fixed his daughter's toy. She didn't look at him. She walked past like he didn't exist. Daniel felt foolish for expecting anything else. But as she reached the elevator, Elena stopped. She turned. Her eyes met his. Recognition flickered. The world seemed to pause. She walked back toward him, ignoring the confused looks of her staff. "Daniel," she said quietly. "Yes," he replied, heart pounding. "You didn't tell me you worked here." "I didn't think it mattered." She studied him for a moment, really looked at him. "Does Mia know?" she asked. "Know what?" "That I own the building." Daniel shook his head. "She just knows you fixed her toy." Elena smiled. "That might be the most important thing anyone's ever known about me." They stood in silence. Then Elena did something no one expected. She extended her hand. "Would you and Mia have dinner with me tonight?" she asked. "I don't want to spend Christmas alone again." Daniel hesitated. "I don't want pity," he said quietly. Elena's expression softened. "This isn't pity. This is gratitude." "For what?" "For reminding me that kindness still knocks." That night, the penthouse felt different. Mia sat at the long table, feet swinging, laughing freely. Daniel watched Elena watch them. And for the first time since his world had broken, he felt something new. Hope. Weeks passed. Elena kept her promise. She didn't give money. She gave time. She helped Daniel find better work. She attended Mia's school recital. She listened. One evening, Daniel finally asked, "Why us?" Elena looked at the window. "Because you knocked when everyone else just wanted something from me." On New Year's Eve, snow fell again. This time, they watched it together. Mia slept on the couch, wooden horse tucked under her arm. Elena raised her glass, not of wine, but hot chocolate. "To unexpected doors," she said. Daniel smiled. "And broken toys." Their glasses clinked softly. Outside, the city glittered. Inside, 3 lives quietly, beautifully changed.